Don't you realize that in a race, everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run it to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away, but we do it for an eternal prize. That prize can be won by everyone.
Okay, so about 5 years ago, I had fibroids, or fibroid removal surgery, and suffered some catastrophic limitations. My lower extremities were completely obliterated. Vital organs to include my lumbar spine, which controls the lower extremities, and the functionality of everything below the waist. I had over a handful of blood transfusions, years of inpatient and outpatient treatment, behavioral health therapy, marriage counseling, grief counseling, everything that you could imagine to help me relearn how to live in this new body that I now have. But I'll have to be honest that though I've experienced all of those things, it's not really the worst thing that I've gone through in my life. I have to say seriously that the most difficult times in my life have been when I've been out of alignment in my relationship with God. And this injury actually forced stillness so that I could realign. God had given me everything. Like I had, before I was 30, I owned my own home, had a really good, lucrative career. I was really good at my job. I mean, my life was going pretty fabulous, but there were some things, even though I had it all, is what most people would say, there were still some things in me that just wasn't happy. And I realized that though I was a Christian and I was going to church and I was reading my Bible, it was all very surface. It was not, I can say that now, I thought that I was doing the right stuff. But my prayers were always, Lord, you've given me all of this. Where is my spiritual joy? Why am I not really happy with all of this? And so, like I said, the injury had really forced me to stop, be still, and say, okay, now I see. Well, so after my surgery and I woke up, and the first thing I could remember was my husband's face and how distraught he looked. So I knew something was wrong. Something had gone terribly wrong. But me and my faith, or the faith that I thought I had, the faith that I thought was strong, when I left the hospital, leaving the hospital, one was a sign that God wasn't finished with him yet, because the doctors had said immediately that things, well, not immediately, they did tell me how difficult the surgery had gone and how I was a miracle, how my life had been spared, and that the tumor that they had removed was over 11 pounds. So I knew that that God was in the picture. So that kind of gave me a glimmer of hope, to be honest. It gave me a glimmer of hope, and I held on to that glimmer. And there were times, I'm telling you, there were times where I was just so distraught and could not understand what was going on. I mean, I had just gotten promoted. I was married 2 years at this time. I was accepted to the Command General Staff College at Fort Leavenworth. I mean, things were going well. So when this surgery and the injury happened, something that I thought was routine, I was like, okay, God, all right, well, change of plans. It's a different transition. what's going to happen now? I have to say the most prominent thing is just having an attitude of surrender and knowing my identity in Christ. Like when you're going through catastrophic situations or difficulty of any kind, it's like the devil breeds negativity, So anytime there is like a negative thought or no matter what anybody else has to say, whether it be my mom, whether it be the doctors or my dad or anyone, or even including myself, like I have to hold on to what God says. And, for me, feelings are fickle, like your moods change. So anytime I felt like negative, I knew that it was time for me to go alone and have some quiet time with God and meditate on His Word. And really, that's how you keep your peace. Is when that's the alignment I told you about. Like when I go alone and spend that time with Him, even in the noise and in the mess of the world and the mess of situations or circumstance, just getting that time with Him to get the peace I need. I'm Tawanda Harris, and I'm in the Winner Circle.